I think that many of us see our relationship with God as if God were a magic genie. We rub the magic lamp and God is supposed to appear and grant us our wishes. That is how many people read this morning's text. But we cannot put a leash on God, and God is not contained within a lamp or a ritual or a church building or even within a particular religion. And God will not be reduced to the wish-granting business, nor is God obliged to obey our commands. That is simply a childish image of God. And if the only message we receive from this morning's text is that God will grant all our wishes, then we're going to go through life sorely disappointed because it's simply not true. But what I can say with conviction is true is the fact that I'm not alone in this world. And prayer enables me to know that there is a holy presence that is far greater than me, which exists and cares for me and wants to be in relationship with me. And most of the time, that's all I really need. I don't need to be fixed. I just want to be sure that I'm not alone. For some reason, the idea that I might be all alone in this thing called life is a truly paralyzing concept. A few years ago, Mark and I drove to Scottsdale, Arizona for a church conference. We drove through some absolutely beautiful desert scenery, which I was completely unable to appreciate. All I knew was that we could drive for an hour or more without any evidence of civilization, not another car on the road going in either direction, and there was no cell phone service. I felt on the verge of a panic attack, imagining myself to be as helpless as if an astronaut whose tether to the mothership had been cut during the middle of a spacewalk. But this morning's text assures me that thanks to prayer, I can be sure that God is present and holding on to me. I know this because the text which reads, "For everyone who receives and everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and for everyone who knocks the door will be open," implies that there is someone who is doing the giving when I ask. There is someone who is doing the revealing when I search, and there is someone who is opening the door when I knock. And that someone wants me to continue to ask and seek and knock, and to do it shamelessly. And that's enough for me. It's enough that there's someone on the other side of the door who hears my knock. Someone who cares for me and loves me. I don't have to understand why some prayers are answered and others are seemingly unanswered. All I need to know is that there is someone, a holy presence, that is in this thing called life with me. A power that is greater than me, who invites me into an authentic, shameless relationship. That's enough for me. I will continue to approach God with my requests. I will continue to shamelessly ask for at least 50 people to regularly worship with us. And I will boldly ask for healing on the part of others. But I will do it as an expression of my intimate relationship with God. I take things to God and I lay them out on the table. I share my desires with God. And after expressing my desires, I then leave it in God's hands. I said at the beginning of this morning's sermon that I wouldn't be providing answers. If you thought I was simply being modest, you're probably sufficiently disappointed by now. But I make no apologies. I don't have the answer to why some prayers are answered and why others are seemingly unanswered. And quite honestly, I don't think anyone does. But I am convinced that my prayers are heard. And I have found that an authentic prayer life enhances my relationship with God, which gives me strength in difficult times. This is what I have found to be true for me. I see this morning's text as more of an invitation to be in relationship with God than as a formula for our wishes to be granted. I have accepted that invitation, and I don't regret it. May the same be true in your lives also. Amen.